Hello students, welcome to the class. As we have been studying about the topic force, and we have already covered these parts of force, that is what is force, what are the effects of force, types of forces and examples that we have already covered. Today we will be discussing about rest of the part. What to discuss today? We will discuss about unit of force. Next, what is balanced force and what is resultant force. So let's get into the topic. So first of all, force has both magnitude and direction. Whenever we are applying the force on an object, we need two things. One is magnitude, that is the numerical value of force, and another is in which direction force is applied to the object. For example, if I am applying the force here to close it, then I am applying the force over the pen in this direction. And also I have applied some numerical value as a magnitude of the force. That's why force is said as a vector quantity since force is having both magnitude and direction. Now come to the point of unit of forces. So in SI unit we can say that in SI system Newton is the unit of force that can be represented by N. And in CGS system, in CGS, force can be represented by unit dyne. Now come to the next, resultant force. So what is resultant force? Whenever two or more forces are applied on an object, then the combined effect of all the forces are represented by a single one. This is called the resultant force. Suppose if there is a heavy box and we are pushing the box, and two or more people are applying the forces on the box to move it. So what is the combined effect of force that can be represented by adding these forces, and that can be represented as a single force? This is called the resultant force. If this is F1, this is F2, this is F3, then the resultant force will be R equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3. So the single force, that is the summation of the all forces in the system is called the resultant force. Now whenever the forces are acting in the same direction, then we can add them. But if forces are applied in different direction or opposite direction, then what will happen? In this case, suppose if in one side force is applied F1 in this direction and in opposite direction other forces apply. At that case, the resultant force will be R equal to F1 minus F2. If condition is F1 greater than F2. Another condition is if this force is greater, that is F2 is greater than F1, then the resultant force will be R equal to F2 minus F1. Hence, when forces are acting in the same direction, the resultant force will be the addition of all forces, and whenever the forces are acting on opposite direction, then the resultant force will be the subtraction of the forces. And the direction is also mandatory here to mention because force is the vector quantity. Now come to the point, what is balanced force? Let's erase. Balanced force. the box is there and someone is pushing the box in this direction and other one is pushing the box in this direction, and these two directions are in opposite, but the magnitude is same. That means if one has the magnitude, suppose it is 5 Newton and it is also 5 Newton. Now what will be the resultant force? If we have already told that forces are working in opposite direction, then the resultant force will be the subtraction. That's why here the resultant force will be 5 minus 5, that is 0. In this condition, hence we are applying the force, but there is no movement of the box because the force is getting nullified because the resultant force is 0, so no action will be shown. One more thing, since force is a vector quantity, so we can express this in the form of this symbol that represents that this is a vector quantity. So instead of writing this, we can write in this way, that is the resultant force due to this vector symbol. So this much for today. Hope you have understood and see you in the next class. Till then, tata, bye.